What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today we have the 09 Santa Fe 2.7. I know it's a little bright right now, but 2.7 V6 in the Santa Fe. This is the GLS model, and what we're doing is an oil pan on this. And we gotta show y'all where it's at. Right there. Here's your exhaust. There's your oil pan. You can see the leak, and the reason we're changing it is because it's that rust spot. It is actually coming out of there, not the gasket, which is pretty odd considering that's the only spot that is rusted on this whole thing, is that front portion. I don't understand that, but it is what it is. I gotta clean off some stuff too underneath here because we did valve cover gaskets yesterday. And we even did a starter on it the day before that. No, I think we did start on it yesterday also. But we did starter and valve cover gaskets. I was going to show it, but I left my camera at the house. So today we're just going to film the oil pan. And we got a brand new oil pan. I got it from Advance, I think. Not a sponsor or anything, but that's who had it in stock. And they had it cheapest as well. That's your part number, 264436. It is a Dorman. I know some people like Dorman, some people don't. It's about the only one that they could get. Plus, this way we don't have to clean up any of it. I'm doing this one-handed right there, and comes with a new drain plug right there. Look how nice and shiny that is. Actually looks to be pretty good quality. So, first thing you want to do is drain the oil, and from the looks of that, that is about a 17 millimeter. So I'm going to grab a 17, come back, and we'll start draining the oil. Once it finished draining, I'm going to put the plug back in, and then I'll start pulling the bolts off, and I'll let you know how many bolts there are. Actually, I can do the bolts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like 11 bolts. So, and they probably are 10 millimeters. And I know they don't torque to that much. So, and just uses silicone around the edge to hold it in place. So that's pretty simple. So let me drain the oil real quick, and then I'll bring you back and show me pulling the pan off. I got all the oil drained out of it, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the perimeter and take these little 10 millimeters out with my little impact driver. And like I said, there's like 10 or 11 of them, and it just right around the edge. And once you get all those off, you're probably going to have to get a screwdriver or something and pry it off. Now, if you're reusing yours, be careful. Do not bend it too much. You can get like a scraper, tap it in there, and once you break the seal just a little bit, normally they start coming off a lot easier. But I'm not reusing mine, so I'm just going to use a good old flat blade screwdriver, hammer it in there, and pop it off. And then once we do that, we'll probably have to clean up the surface, just get all the old silicone off of it. There it is with the pan off, and I went ahead and cleaned it. I just used these little carbide scrapers like this. Didn't like. That's them. You can actually get those at about any auto parts store fairly cheap, and they work amazing. Like, you can see how clean it got it, and that's just going over it twice. Yeah. But here is the pan. Hold on, let me get out from underneath and kind of show y'all all this. It'll be a lot easier. Ugh. There's the pan, and where it was leaking was on this front edge. It is rusted really bad. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put silicone around the edge of this. I use this Permatex Ultra Gray. I've always used that. I have really good luck with it. I've never had any complaints. It does a great job. It seals very well. I compare it to like the Honda Bond or the Toyota gray sealant that you can get. That's probably as close as I can find to that stuff. In my opinion, Honda Bond is the best silicone and sealant that you can buy. Second is Toyota, and then this right here. Not a big fan of the Ford stuff, don't know why. I've never had really good luck with it. That's just a personal preference of mine. If you've had good luck, hey, keep using that, but use whatever works for you. But personally, for me, it's Honda Bond, then Toyota Bond, and then the Ultra Gray. But we're just going to, and this is like the reusable can. You twist the top and it allows you to put pressure and it squeezes it all the way around, and it's pre-cut also. But I'm going to put a little bit around here, then I'll show you before I put it on, and then I like to let it sit for about 5 minutes before putting it on. Just let it cure just a little bit, and then stick it on there and torque everything down. Plus I gotta get torque specs for y'all, so while that's drying I'll look up torque specs and then bring y'all back, show you how like a thin layer and stuff I put on here. It's got the silicone around it now, and as you can see, it's just kind of like a little thin layer around it. I just fill up the little crevice, the little divots that are in there, and then I just put it just a hair over top, just enough so it kind of like adheres to all surfaces. And you can see it kind of go over the bolt holes a little bit, and whenever we put the bolts in there, they will get a little bit in the threads, but that'll kind of help hold those as well, because I have seen where little oil pan bolts, like little 10 millimeters with the little short threads, they'll back out sometimes, and these don't torque to a lot anyway. They only torque to 9 foot-pounds, which is not much at all. I mean, once you just thread them in by your hands and you just kind of go like another quarter turn, that is roughly about 9 foot-pounds. So it doesn't take a lot at all. And like my little impact driver, I'm just going to go up real easy, and I'll probably end up using my 1/4 inch torque wrench because it does inch pounds, and just add up to 9 foot-pounds. Is, you know, just do it that way, or you can actually just kind of hand tighten them. It's up to you. I'm going to torque them. That's just me personally. I do prefer torquing things down when I can, except for like little brackets and stuff like that. But stuff like oil pan stuff, I do recommend you torquing them down. So you can just try doing that right there. Like 9 foot-pounds is about 108 inch-pounds for anybody who just wants that right off the top of their head. So yeah, so around 108 inch-pounds and 9 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this on, and then I'm going to just start tightening them down, and then I'll show you what oil and everything we're using. We got the pan on, and this is the oil I'm using, Mobil 1 530. I do find that once you drop a pan, clean it out and change the gasket and all that stuff, or replace it, that I do use about another 1/4 of a quart of oil, just because it doesn't drain it all out whenever you're draining it and everything. So this calls for 4 3/4 of a quart with the filter, so I'm going to go ahead and probably do the full 5, and that should equal about out. If you're worried about it, put the recommended amount in there, and then check it after you crank it up, run for a few minutes, and then cut it off. Check it again, because you may need to add, you know, another 1/4 to a 1/2 quart. So I'm going to pour this in here. See if I can set y'all up where you can see it. Should have had it open for y'all instead of just doing it while y'all were watching. Gotta hold it because it's got like a little deflector inside of it, and it will cause it to back up if you got it all the way down in there. Like I said, I did do a valve cover gasket job on this as well, so this kind of lets me get some of the stuff out that it may have had fall down in there, and a little bit of dirt and stuff, because I did run it first. And by the way, let your oil pan sit for a little bit before you put oil in it. Let that silicone harden up, because you do not want that to get circulated into the engine. I mean, the strainer will catch it and stuff, but you can clog up your oil pump strainer, and that's not a good thing. It can start to have oil starvation. So I did let this sit for probably about 30 or 45 minutes before putting oil in it, just because I want that to harden up at least a little bit. And I did let it harden up a little bit before I even put the pan on there. Let it sit there for probably about 10-15 minutes before even putting the pan on. Then that lets it kind of build like a little, you know, hard layer around it, and then whenever you press it up against there, it'll kind of press some of it out, but it kind of helps contain it. But now what I'm going to do is I got to put the oil cap back on, crank it up, pull it off of the ramps just so it's on level surface, because I can't use the lift right now because we have a Silverado on it, and it had a bunch of work done to it and been waiting for transmission lines. We had oil lines, transmission lines, and transmission filter and stuff that we did to it. So let me crank this up, get on level surface, check the oil level, and then I'll come back and close out the video. Get it on level ground. I let it run for a few minutes, probably about, I'd say about a minute, not a few minutes, but I probably let it run for about 60 seconds. And now we're going to pull the dipstick out, and we're going to clean it, which is awkward one-handed, so I'll do it like this. Stick it back in, and let's check the level. Oh, she is perfect. Now how well y'all can kind of see that, but the oil level is right at the full mark. So it did take another quarter quart, like I was expecting. So that was a good call. I'm gonna wipe off everything, and that is pretty much it. That's putting oil pan on this. It's a pretty simple job. Costs for about 1.2 hours, I believe it was. So nothing major. I mean, that's taking it off, cleaning it, putting it back on, and you know, you probably do it in 30 minutes or less if you're real familiar with your car and stuff like that. It don't take a lot to take it off. It's real easy to get to. It's right there under the car. Nothing's blocking your way. But if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns on anything I did, let me know. I get to them as soon as I can. If you got any questions about anything else, hit me up on Instagram. It don't even have to pertain to this car. I get to them quicker on Instagram as well. We'll put the link to the giveaway video down. I still only have one comment, so I'm going to leave it up until I get at least 3. Hopefully somebody else comments. That way somebody else can have a chance to win. But go and check that out. But as always, y'all remember, torque is tight. Y'all have a great day.